Every business reaches a point where each growth decision is harder than the last. Imagine a fast-scaling fitness company across New England. Business is booming. They're opening new sites, expanding their offerings, and looking for new ways to grow. But they don't have an analytics team or any data scientists on staff. Their data is scattered across a dozen systems, and they lack the market intelligence to move with confidence. Their leadership is asking, who are our most valuable members? How do we find more like them? Where should we expand? Which employers should sales target? And how do we answer all this without an analytics team? That's where SignalFuse helps. SignalFuse combines their first-party data with Data Axle's intelligence, making it as simple as asking a question in natural language and getting a recommendation you can act on with confidence. This fitness company can act with confidence knowing SignalFuse is built on a connected data fabric that continuously unifies and enriches first-party data with Data Axle's consumer, business, contact, lifestyle, and intent intelligence. As new data flows in, the fabric updates, creating a richer, more complete view of the market that powers every insight, audience, recommendation, and opportunity. Instead of working across disparate systems, users work from a single environment, exploring data, generating insights, building audiences, analyzing opportunities, and activating campaigns, all through natural language. SignalFuse makes asking the questions simple. The decades of data and intelligence behind every answer are what give you confidence you can act on. So let's look at how that intelligence comes together. It starts by connecting the data organizations already have, whether it's stored in cloud platforms, CRMs, marketing systems, e-commerce applications, or other enterprise tools. SignalFuse supports a growing library of enterprise connectors, making it easy to bring customer data into one connected environment. For this example, we're ingesting e-commerce transaction data that includes customer information and purchase history. Once that data arrives, SignalFuse automatically standardizes, matches, and enriches every record using Data Axle's consumer and business intelligence. Behind the scenes, Data Axle's Data Quality Center cleanses records, resolves identities, corrects inaccuracies, and fills in missing information, creating the most complete customer view possible. That's the connected data foundation powering everything you'll see next. Because AI is only as good as the data behind it. When the underlying data is complete, connected, and continuously enriched, organizations can build better audiences, uncover stronger insights, and make business decisions with greater confidence. Now let's put it to work for our fitness center. First, who are our best customers? This isn't just a list of our top members. In seconds, SignalFuse analyzes our highest value customers and uncovers the characteristics they share, from demographics and household composition to financial profile, lifestyle segments, and health and wellness interests. In this case, it reveals that our most valuable members are older, affluent customers with distinct lifestyle patterns, insights that would normally require multiple data sources and weeks of analysis to uncover. Instead, leadership gets a clear, data-driven picture of who their best customers really are and a blueprint for finding more of them. Now that we know who our best customers are, let's find more people like them. Behind the scenes, SignalFuse is matching consumer, demographic, lifestyle, geographic, and behavioral data to identify people who closely resemble the members who create the most value for the business. Instead of targeting broad demographics, we're building an audience based on the characteristics that actually predict long-term customer value, all while focusing on the markets we want to grow. In seconds, we've built a high-fit audience of nearly 50,000 prospective members across Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire. Need to narrow or expand the audience? Just ask. There's no rebuilding audiences or wrestling with complex filter logic. SignalFuse simply refines the audience using natural language, making it easy to test ideas, compare strategies, and adapt as business priorities change. Next, let's help leadership determine where to invest in new locations. Now, SignalFuse is combining customer data, consumer data, geographic information, and market signals to identify underserved markets with strong demand for a new fitness center. It's looking for places where thousands of high-intent prospects already exist, but where local competition hasn't caught up yet. That's a great starting point. But opening a new location is a major investment. We need to move beyond opportunity alone and determine which markets are actually the strongest business bets. While SignalFuse refines the analysis, it's evaluating far more than prospect counts. It's weighting the factors that drive long-term success, including prospect volume, household income, fitness engagement, competitive landscape, and market penetration, to create a composite expansion score for every market. Now, instead of a list of 149 possibilities, leadership has a prioritized expansion strategy. Plymouth rises to the top because it combines nearly 2,900 qualified prospects with high household income, exceptional engagement, and favorable competitive dynamics. Carver also ranks near the top, giving us two neighboring markets worth evaluating together. In seconds, we've gone from asking, "Where should we expand next?" to comparing available real estate in Plymouth and Carver. We're no longer just building marketing audiences. We're helping leadership make smarter investment decisions. But growth doesn't stop with individual memberships. The same intelligence that helps acquire new members can also power an entirely different growth strategy, partnering with employers that invest in employee wellness, fitness reimbursements, and corporate health programs. That's where SignalFuse comes in. It unifies professional, consumer, and behavioral data into a richer view of people, giving businesses intelligence at a scale few organizations can match. That means we can identify not just who someone is, but where they work and the organizations most likely to employ people who fit our ideal member profile. Now SignalFuse is putting that intelligence to work. It starts by identifying organizations whose employee populations most closely match the fitness center's ideal member profile. Instead of simply returning the largest employers, SignalFuse evaluates demographic fit, industry, workforce characteristics, and market opportunity to prioritize the organizations most likely to become successful corporate wellness partners. The result isn't just a list of companies. It's a ranked business development strategy, complete with recommended industries, geographic priorities, and specific organizations that deserve immediate outreach. Now that we know which companies to pursue, the next question is simple. Who should we actually talk to? SignalFuse identifies the HR, benefits, people operations, and corporate wellness leaders responsible for these programs, enriching each organization with available business contact information and turning strategic recommendations into people the sales team can actually reach. Now we've gone from identifying the right markets to the right companies to the right decision makers. With a single click, those decision makers become a reusable audience. But the payoff isn't just creating an audience. Once the analysis is complete, SignalFuse saves it as a reusable asset, preserving not only the people in the audience, but the intelligence and business logic used to build it. Now that audience lives inside the platform, where it can be refreshed as data changes, shared across teams, and reused whenever it is needed. Instead of recreating the same analysis every time, the business builds a growing library of trusted audiences that support future campaigns, sales motions, and business questions. And when the team is ready to put that audience to work, SignalFuse makes it easy to activate across the rest of their marketing and data ecosystem. Every audience they create is one they can reuse and build on. Every workflow builds on the last, and every time trusted intelligence moves from analysis into action, the business gets more out of SignalFuse. In just a few minutes, SignalFuse helped this fitness center understand its best members, build an audience of 50,000 lookalike prospects, identify its next location, and point its sales team toward high-value employer opportunities. It all started with their first-party member data, enriched through identity resolution with Data Axle's consumer and business intelligence, then transformed through natural language into actionable business recommendations. That's the power of SignalFuse. It gave this fitness center the kind of intelligence and decision-making that used to require enterprise-sized teams and dedicated analysts. And it's ready for wherever they grow next. Every new question, every new market, every new opportunity, answered from the same connected intelligence without the resources of a large enterprise. That's exactly what SignalFuse was built to solve.